Hammond Redevelopment meeting for July the 2nd, 2013 will begin at 4:30. Would everyone please be so kind as to stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here.
Here.
Albridge.
Here.
Lambert. Here. 4 present and 1 absent. Number 5, number 3, declaration of conflict of interest. We have none. Number 4, communications.
I did not receive any communication.
Okay. Number 5, homebound conditional forgivable loan approval.
Commissioners, this is for 5 homebound conditional forgivable loan approvals. Norma Grenda, I had a withdrawal. And everybody is present today.
Would they like to step up?
Everybody for homebound, want to come up front? Melissa, Lakeisha, Angela.
Carmen? Who's Carmen?
And Carmen.
Oh, she's coming. We got 4 here from out of town. Welcome. Carmen's from Chicago. Hey, Carmen, welcome. Melissa, you're from East Chicago. Tamitha, welcome to Hammond. And Julio? How do you-
Julio.
Yeah, okay. And Angela? Okay, welcome to Hammond. Any questions, commissioners?
Yeah, just, let's see, let's maybe just pick one. Lakeisha, how did you hear about the program?
I heard about the program from my realtor.
I'm sorry, from
My realtor?
your realtor? Who's your realtor?
John Lopez.
Okay, I know John Lopez. Okay. What about Carmen? How did you hear about the program?
I'm a translator. I'm going to translate for
Okay.
the realtor too.
Who's her realtor?
Maria Vega.
I gotta give me one more person. Let's see. Tamitha. Is that how you pronounce your name?
Tamitha.
Tamitha. Okay, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. How did you hear about the program?
My mom.
Your mom?
And then I just looked it up
You looked it up online, the
in the phone book.
In the phone book? Oh, I thought she was going to tell me, you know, you got on GoHammond.com.
We're everywhere now, Greg.
I mean, the phone books? Do they even make phone books anymore? Okay, I don't have any questions for anyone.
Madam President,
Yes,
I'd like
ma'am.
to make a motion for the homebound conditional forgivable loan approval for the 5 applicants.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Philip Presley. Navegas.
Yes.
Myrick.
Yes.
Hopper.
Yes.
Lambert.
Yes, motion passes.
Congratulations.
Welcome to Hammond.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Number 6, subordination request approval. Are they here? Or are you going to go ahead with it?
Commissioners, this is for a subordination request for the listed applicant. The applicant I could not get a hold of. I'm hoping the Redevelopment Commission can approve it. It's just a refinance. They're just lowering their interest rate. They took out a loan with the city in 2007. They've been making their payments on time, so I have no complaints.
Yeah, when I looked at this the other day, I was like, man, they cut it almost in half.
Absolutely.
They need to tell me how to do that. So we just need to make a motion. Madam President, I make a motion to approve the subordination request approval, and I'm not going to mess up the name, so I'm just saying for the applicant named.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
Navegas.
Yes.
Myrick.
Yes.
Hopper.
Yes.
Lambert.
Yes, motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay. Number 7. Are your people here, Dennis?
They're all here.
All right.
Tonight, Madam President and members of the commission, we have 3 prospective purchasers of NSP properties seeking conditional approval for not only the purchase of those properties, but for the affordability assistance allowance that goes with each of them. I should note that 2 of the properties, 909 175th Street and 7403 Oakdale, are NSP 3 properties. Those are the only 2 properties we owned and had under rehab, and we've sold them already. So the program is going well, but here in attendance we have Ms. Shanice Browder, and she is the buyer of 7403 Oakdale. We have a tentative estimated price on that property because it's not yet completed and we're waiting for one appraisal, but we feel a good estimate is $110,000, and she's seeking the maximum affordability assistance allowance of $22,000. We have Jorge Dorantes purchasing 909 175th Street for $107,500, and he is seeking the maximum affordability assistance allowance of $21,500. And last but not least, Ms. Rosetta Townsend purchasing 6146 Ray Street for $78,000, and maximum affordability assistance allowance is $15,600. Or 50. Can't even read my.
It says 15.6.
And that's for $15,600 then. Each of them have made application to the city. Each has qualified under the HUD standards and guidelines. So at this time, I'd like to propose conditional approval for each of the purchasers of those properties.
I'd just like to comment on the 3 houses. I've driven by them, and especially 909. I think you even sent an email on that one. That house is just gorgeous. So keep up the good work, Dennis. The rehab is unbelievable on these houses.
So do we know when we expect to close on these properties?
I just spoke with Jorge and told him upon this approval, give us 3 days and we'll be able to close probably next Monday or Tuesday.
Okay.
Shanice, sorry to say, there's been some hiccups on that property, but Shanice, I want you to know one of the things that we're doing is we're installing, because of the heavy rains and we noticed some seepage in the house, we decided to put in some drainage tiles all through the basement with a sump pump, and that's caused a bit of a delay, but it's going to save you some grief in the long run, so that'll work. So I would say, Shanice, probably in 2 to 3 weeks, and with Rosetta, anytime her lender's ready, probably within a week we'll be ready to do that one as well.
Okay, so all of these are closed before the end of July.
Oh, definitely, yes.
Okay.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
I'd like to then make a motion for the conditional approval for the sale of NSP properties with the related affordability assistance allowance for the 3 applicants that are here today.
I second that. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Soto Presley?
Yes.
Navejas?
Yes.
Myers?
Yes.
Hopper?
Yes.
Lambert?
Yes. Motion passes. I'd like to welcome Mr. and Mrs. Durant to the city of Hammond. Congratulations, everyone. Enjoy your new home.
Thank you.
If you want to wait, I'll be right.
Number 8.
One more, I'll be right with you guys.
Number 8. Is that you, Dennis?
That's me.
Okay.
Number 8, we're seeking approval of CHODO agreements that we have with United Neighborhoods, Inc., our certified and approved CHODO in the city of Hammond. And the 2 agreements that you have are the CHODO operating agreements for the upcoming year and the CHODO pre-development loan agreement for the upcoming year. Notice in your packet that you have, especially with the operating costs agreement, you have the prior 2 years as well, although it appeared that those were approved. We didn't have documents.
Dennis, I forgot the packets on my desk.
Pardon?
Just gave you the
Oh.
packets before the meeting, and I forgot them on my desk.
Oh, okay.
Dennis,
We-
maybe you could,
Email them?
well, and can you go over the, you have one in front of you?
Yeah.
If the commissioner's okay with it, maybe we could
Fine, give it-
read what the agreement with the cost of the Choto operating costs are and the Choto pre-development loan agreement.
Let's go with initially with the operating cost agreement. It's a standard agreement that we use annually with a Choto. And what that allows us to do is to grant the Choto $15,000 for eligible expenses that are related to their operation. And the eligible expenses, if you will, are detailed in the agreement.
And if I could jump in, I believe 15,000 was the same amount we've done for the past at least 5 years while I've been here. 15,000 every year.
But they can use it for rent, utilities, things to do with the normal operation of a business, if you will. They cannot use it for additional funds for properties and things like that. Strictly operational. And again, that's a fixed amount of $15,000. The City of Hammond Choto pre-development loan agreement is something that the commission approved at its meeting on December 4th. And that went through the end of this year, this fiscal year, ending on June 30th. So effective July 1st, 2013, we would like to have the same pre-development loan agreement with United Neighborhoods, Inc., and that too is to a maximum amount of $15,000. What that allows the Choto to do is to use $15,000 or funds not specifically allocated to a property. In other words, Ms. Barber can go out and identify 5 or 6 properties that she might have an interest in, spend the funds on those eligible properties, and not necessarily buy them at no cost to her organization.
Dennis, for the record, could you tell us what the acronym CHOTO means?
Certified Housing Development Organization.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Madam President,
Yes.
I make a motion for the approval of the CHOTO agreements with United Neighborhood Incorporated.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Shuttle Presley,
Yes.
Navejas,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
Hopkins,
Yes.
Lambert.
Yes, motion passes.
Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you.
I don't know. Oh, Alexis Barber? No, we can't give it.
Number 9, authorization to beautify the redevelopment loan lot at corner of Conkey Street and Reverend Burns Drive.
Commissioners, you have in your packet an estimate from Myers Landscaping and Lawn Service. This would be funded out of our Adopt a Lot program, which is a program we put in, I believe, $50,000 2 years ago. And since then, we have not refunded the program because we've determined that we're trying to sell off the properties we own so that we don't have to pay maintenance costs over time because we can't afford it. But this particular site, we wanted to use some of the funds from the Adopt a Lot program, which are available to beautify the site for the neighborhood.
Any questions?
No, I just comment, I agree, I've driven by this particular parcel lot. It is a corner lot there with, a lot of traffic, so it'd be very visible, and it would be a great asset to that neighborhood there, beautification. So with that, Madam President, I'd like to make a motion for authorization to beautify the redevelopment home lot at the corner of Conkey Street and Reverend Burns Drive.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please. Soto Presley,
Yes.
Ceballos,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Lambert. Yes. Motion passes, all commissioners present.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Before we do our reports, I'd like to recognize our councilwoman at large, Janet Banez. Alexis, welcome. How are you? Okay, number 10, reports. I've been ordered to speed it up.
We're doing very good on time.
We are.
The only report I have is our July 16th meeting. We should have a heavy agenda with some great projects that we've been working on for a long time. So obviously I don't want to bring up any names right now because just in case something doesn't go through or gets pushed back. But July 16th should be a great meeting. We should have a number of projects for approval and looking forward to it, and I hope you are as well.
Absolutely.
Good news.
Also, July 22nd is the city council meeting. I believe they're only having one in July, and they will be, on the agenda, will be the approval of the Flossmoor or Caulfield Holding Development Agreement that we approved. Was that last meeting or the meeting before? I can't. Last meeting. So that's it. Thank you.
Got any questions for Mr. Taylor? Okay, and Mr. Miller is not here. Number 11.
Madam President? Yes.
Commissioner.
I'd like to make a motion to pay our register of claims for June 12th, 2013 through through June 27th, 2013. Register of claims number R48698 through R48784.
Thank you.
Second?
Thank you. Roll call, please. Soto Presley,
Yes.
Ceballos,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Lambert. Yes. Bills are paid. Number 12, new and unfinished business. No, seeing there is none. Number 12, public comment. Public comment, you have 3 minutes. You need to speak?
Oh, yeah, I do. Well, I don't want to overshoot everybody.
Okay.
So I'm kind of came from before. We're going to officially come in a few months, but about opening up, or hopefully a few weeks for a few months, about doing, we own a big parcel of property over off of 136 in Sheffield, just to the east towards Chicago, trying to redevelop it to possibly a private or maybe open commercial paintball field there.
Baseball field?
Oh, a paintball.
Paintball, oh.
Paintball, yes. So as a possibility, and just trying to see what the board's thoughts were about it, because it's currently zoned I2. I have a lot possibility to do different projects there. One we've been trying to do for a while now, since we first acquired the property about a year ago, was that, and just trying to see what the thoughts were, because I'll be back here again officially, but just trying to see what the thoughts were.
So your name was?
Oh, I'm sorry, Antonio Alvarez, and then the company we own is Xavier Research.
Okay.
Out of Hammond on Holman Avenue, 6040 Holman to be exact.
This paintball, whatever you're going to make, is it going to be enclosed?
Well, it's an open field concept, but it's currently fenced now, and we have protective fencing as well around, projected to go around the field portion of it. It's mostly an outdoor sport for the most part. It actually is played year-round, despite the fact it's being outdoor. But for the most part, I think it'll be a good possibility to be in the area. We were doing it ourselves. We have friends that kind of are into the sport. I'm into the sport as well. We actually purchased a different parcel of property about 2 years ago through the county. That the deal kind of fell apart. They sold to us by accident, but we got it approved by the city to have it there. But nevertheless, since it wasn't our property at the end, we just settled up with them recently. We got back our money back. We paid for it. But we have all the equipment. We have all the business plan to move forward. So we basically acquired this back in June of last year, about a year ago to date. We finalized the paperwork for the taxes today, which is good. We got, I think, kind of lowered down to a more I guess, at a price where we could develop it without being too, well, it got louder, got too pricey. But nevertheless, because it's I-2, we want to keep it I-2, and we're going to shoot for a variance after everything's done. But if the town council feels that it's not what city may want, then I'll go a different direction, which would be basically I-2 storage and a cell phone tower. But we have a lot of storage in I-2 in Hammond, and we have a lot of cell phone towers, but there's no paintball field at all. So,
Just let me mention,
Sure.
the redevelopment commission basically makes sure that projects comply with redevelopment areas. This particular project is not in a redevelopment area, so it will not come in front of this commission. I know I
That
sent it.
was.
No, it's not in a
Really?
redevelopment area. But you will, I know
Yeah.
I'm trying to set up a meeting with Africa right now, our Director of Economic Development, for discussion. Once that discussion happens, I believe because of the zoning, it potentially is going to need some sort of variance, which means he'd have to go in front of the Board of Zoning and Appeals. But yeah, this particular body would not have any say as to
Really?
whether or not the project would move forward or not.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, we were initially at the Board of Public Works the first time, and then we were pushed through miscommunication that it was actually because it was in North Hammond, it would fall under the redevelopment board, but I guess it doesn't.
No, we do not, I don't believe, maybe I'm mistaken here, but I believe that redevelopment area has been removed at this point, so I
Okay.
don't believe it.
That's good. Well, I mean, not good, but it's definitely, I know where I'm going now.
Now you have
A
clarity.
little better. But at least I had time to talk. Got my 3 minutes. Okay. Well, thank you much.
Just
Sure.
for, how big is the property? How big is the lot?
The lot itself runs about 750 frontage, about 200 deep. It's give or take, it's right around 3 acres. About, I don't know, 20%, there's a pond that's there, so that's basically pond. And if we actually bump up to what's owned, not by the Development Corporation, but by the Hammond Marina, I believe owns a section of this particular property. And it's basically, the south portion is subdivided by a 15-foot easement that's owned by the neighbors to the right, the Sheffield trailer parks, I guess. I'm not sure who owns it, but the Sheffield LLC. And then the south portion is owned by a third party, which I don't know.
Let me double check the redevelopment area, because I went,
Because because the other aspect was, if it is, there's definitely that portion according to the JS is owned by Hammond Marina, which is a portion of the city, because it's definitely untaxed. So working with them to either purchase that portion or at least that small portion out, or just get rights to it to play on it, I guess, on that small section. I own the majority of the frontage. In fact, I own all the frontage, so to speak, outside of a small portion owned by NIPSCO. And I've been trying to get I've been taking care of it the last about 8 months now. You know, it's actually, if you've driven past to Chicago, up until recently, you'll see that the weeds were cut, mowed at my expense, and it is expensive to cut down 800 feet of weeds, and they're back again. So now we're trying to move forward with. We have some I guess fill, but clean fill, which has already been certified as clean fill. They're going to give to us, but we're going to be in the right direction to see, make sure I'm in the right board, I guess, to see about getting it. But that's basically it. I talk a lot, I know.
Good evening.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Number 14.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it.